Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of the viewers from around the world. This is your host Vaibhav for today's session of JForex Indicators Explained. I will be explaining to you one interesting indicator. We are seeing the indicators developed by LRSI, and in last session we considered the Laguerre ACS1, the oscillator which is used to look for the momentum based trading signals. If the momentum is bullish, we try to figure out the opportunity to go long, and if the momentum is bearish, we are of course looking to short in the instrument of our choice. For this session, we will be taking into consideration one other indicator which has also been developed by the LR Laguerre. We will see how we can use these indicators, the Laguerre RSI, which is a modified version of RSI. It takes into account both the good technical advantages associated with the RSI as well as the Laguerre oscillator, and it tries to combine these two indicators to reduce the noise, reduce the lag, and give us profitable trading signal. So we will go for the indicator and see its concept, its uses, its modification options, its customization options available on the JForex platform. So let us now head to the JForex 4 platform, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the Euro USD chart defined for the hourly time frame. All right. Now if we want to add this indicator, there are two ways to go about it. You can go for add indicator option from the top, or you can simply do a quick search and type in LRSI and it will appear there. In add indicator options, if you press F3, you will see these indicators listed amongst the momentum indicators. Here is the list of the momentum indicator, and it is listed below these indicator like ACS1, and below that we have LRs like a relative strength index. All right, or simply if you type in the LRSI, then also you can add it that way. So here it is. Now coming to its plotting, I have added it with the Euro USD being the instrument of choice and the candle period is hourly. The interpretation is quite simple if you are familiar with the way RSI works. We have these two important levels defined as markers, critical markers, 80 on the higher side and 20 on the lower side. These are the determining factor which can also be used as a trading signaling zone, trade signaling zone. So if we have the output of this LRSI above the 80 on the higher side, then we get this indication that the underlying instrument is in overbought territory and it has seen substantial move already, and this might be the time for it to go into a corrective phase. And if on the lower side we have this indicator on the lower side below 20, then that is indicative of the bearish sentiments prevalent in the underlying instrument, the Euro USD in this case. So you can take into consideration this momentum prevalent in the instrument of your choice. Now we will talk about Euro USD's case for this session. So when we have the Euro USD bearish and that momentum is quite strong and we are not really seeing much of a signs of turnaround, we will have this output of the LRSI continuously close to zero or exactly at zero. And when we have bearish momentum for the Euro USD, we will have this output at around 100. So whenever there is trend change, we will see this output of the LRSI dipping below 80 from the higher side. And when we have the momentum shift from bearish to bullish, we will see the output shifting from below 0 to about 20. So both this way we can try to go for the optimum entry and exit points. So the classical interpretation of this indicator is simple. I will not go into its formula. The formula is a bit complex and it will take a lot of time for me to be explained, and we will have to look at some slides, and I won't be able to give you a full formula without using some advanced material. So for this session, we will simply restrict ourselves to the uses, the customization tools available on this platform. And if you want the exact formula, all you need to do is do some search on any of the search engine and it will appear there. Now coming to its uses, the use is quite reliable if you simply were to use a RSI. I think to some extent, of course, all of you might or might not agree. So that is a different matter. But in my view, in my perspective, I think this LRSI is to some extent better than the original RSI, and we can use it for trading in a reliable manner. So all we have to do is look for these critical marker points being reached. So when we have this shift from bearish to bullish, we can look to initiate the buy trade, and when we have the shift from bullish to bearish, we can look to initiate the sell trade. So that is one way to look at it and see how you can take advantage of these signal generated by the indicator. And as you can notice, sometimes it will generate false signals, and that happens with almost all the indicators. But if the momentum continues to remain against us and in the same direction and there is no change, then for extended period of time we are likely to see these values prevail. So it will help us avoiding in too many entries against the trend on, and only when we have substantial price move we will have these signal generated. So that is one advantage of this indicator, as it helps us in avoiding the noise and help us find us the more reliable trade signals. Now let's see what are the customization options available for us in its editing toolkit. So we go to the edit indicator option. It's taking a little bit of time to load. All right, we got it. Now price, we can go for two input combinations. We can go for different types of input prices: the close price, open price, high price, low price, median price, typical price, weighted close price. So all these seven types of input prices are available for us to take the trade. And then there is another factor, the damping factor, which tries to eliminate the noise and give us reliable signal. So this can also be modified. So as you use different applied prices, you will see slight difference in terms of the output for this indicator. When we use high price, we will see that it becomes a lot more responsive to the upward price fluctuations. When we use low price, we will have slightly different interpretation: median price, middle price, weighted close price. So all these price fluctuations have to be taken into consideration while making the trading decisions. So here we use this close price. Coming to the damping factor, we can keep it at minimum is 0.5, so we can't really go below 0.5. Let's try out 1. 1 also is out of range, so it has to be in between 0.5 on the lower side and 0.85 on the higher side. So as we have increased the damping factor, we are seeing the indicator is taking more time to respond. And if we consider this prior output, it has risen only recently. All right. So it is now going to have much more lag compared to what we had when the damping factor was at 0.5. As you increase the damping factor, the signals will become less frequent and it will take more data for the indicator to generate trading signals, which then are likely to become more probable, more profitable. So we now again come to editing options. So we go to the edit indicator 0.5. Alright, now I have restored it back to its default setups. The output can be made a bit colorful, or if you simply like the way it is, you can keep it that way, or you can just color it a bit as the way you want. So for that, you can go for these two different combinations: trend up color, trend down color. Styling can also be changed. Then you have this transparency option here. Suppose if you want a little bit of brighter colors with two different combinations for the styling, you can do that. You can go for bar chart kind of structure, or you can go for different style of line. Transparency can be increased or decreased. So we have now this indicator which is a lot less transparent, and we are seeing which is much more transparent, and we are seeing less prominently on the chart. So we have this LRSI output. All right. And we now, if we consider this chart, we can further customize it. If you want it to look more prominent, of course you can increase opaqueness. So we have now defined it at 100%. All right, then comes the level. The color and the styling combination for these levels can also be changed. So you can go for different color combinations if you want the same color or different color to appear on these two different lines. You can do that. You can increase or decrease the width. All these options are there. Now see, the chart is looking a lot more different than what it was when we were simply having simpler combination of the output for these indicators. So this helps us in making the chart look more colorful. Alright, now coming to its editing options on the advanced timeline. Here we have the option to recalculate only on the new candle. So we can opt in for this as well. If you want the highlight of the time period under consideration, you can opt in for this. So whatever is the calculation period, it will be highlighted. So here we get this calculation period highlighted. All right. You want the output of this indicator to remain constant throughout the current candle period, then you have to opt in for this, and we will have the output of this indicator remaining constant throughout this calculation period. Then comes editing option, further advanced editing option, and we have calculate from custom data. You can choose the instrument from the chart, or you can simply make Euro USD as the instrument of choice. The candle period can be same as from the chart, or you can specify if you want the candle period to be different from what we are using on the chart. So in that case, suppose if you want the calculation period to be half an hourly for the LRSI, even though the chart's candle time frame is of hourly, you can do that as well. So we are now going to get the LRSI plotted in terms of its candle period being half an hourly. So we have this data, and it is going to generate signals based on half an hourly time frame. All right, or you can simply restore it back to use from the chart. Side, the spread side can be anything, ask or bid. Both these options can be utilized, and there will be slight difference in the output depending on which side of the spread you are using. If you want the indicator to be available on all the candle periods, then you have to opt in for this, or else you have to specify on which time frame these indicators should be visible, and only on those time frames you will have these indicators plotted. So hourly and 5 minutes we have these indicator, but if we change to say for example 15 minutes, there is not going to be any plotting of the LRSI indicator. Base period can be anything of these five options: none, 4 hours, day, weekly, or monthly. In general, there is not much of a difference regardless of what kind of base period you are using. Okay, guys, so that's it from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write back to me in the feedback section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. For further coverage of the market developments, do check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. We have also provided the link in the bio for the newly released trading platform. So all these links are there. Do check it out. I'll be back tomorrow with a new indicator, new explanation, new uses. So do come back. And right after this session, we have a technical session coming up also. So check it out. Thank you all for joining in. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.